Myrtle Beach has always been a town of dreamers and doers, but in the beginning, there was only sand. A desolate stretch of beach, surrounded by water and swamp, secluded for centuries. A beach that exchanged investment of time, money, and hard work for a hometown. A beach that beckoned to those seeking freedom for rest and recreation, escape from the ordinary and the humdrum. A beach whose personality is tied indelibly to music, from jazz to swing, from rock and roll to blues to beach music. Music that stamped the memories of generations. A beach that means moonlight and romance. Ferris wheels overlooking the ocean, and perfectly manicured greens and fairways. A beach that felt the evolution of the human footprint, from tents to cottages, from guest houses to high-rises. A beach shaped by continuous waves of change, as rhythmic as the tide. One of coastal Horry County's most abundant natural resources prior to 1900 were its forests. They produced tar, turpentine, and other naval stores products. A major player in the earliest transformation of the beach was Franklin Gorham Burroughs. Born in 1834 in North Carolina, Burroughs was on his way to Memphis in 1857 when he stopped in Conway to visit a relative. But he stayed, started a business, married, and had 11 children. The company he formed in the late 1850s would become Burroughs and Collins, the forerunner of today's Burroughs and Chapin. By 1895, it owned 80,000 acres of land, commissaries in 9 communities, naval stores, farming and milling industries, a real estate company, and even a steamboat business. But by 1890, turpentine production fell as the once thick longleaf pine forests were used up. Burroughs and Collins turned toward the coast and the vast untapped resources by the ocean. The forest for timber, the soil for agriculture, and the beach for a new town. Development of all these resources depended on transportation.
The railroad changed everything. The first train's arrival at the beach in 1900 was the first step in creating the Myrtle Beach we know today. That train broke through the lines of inaccessibility that had guarded the beach for hundreds of years.
The only access to the beach was a little tram railroad that began in Conway, and it finally went across the Waccamaw River and cut those trees and brought them back. And then they ventured farther and cut those trees and brought them back. But the little tram was making its way to the seashore. And once upon a time, boom, They cut their way through, and here was this beautiful seashore. So the early history of Myrtle Beach originated at that little depot that became the gateway to Myrtle Beach.